What is up, my guys? Welcome back to another LucaTrades recap video. Today I'm going to be going through the trade that I took today on NASDAQ. It was a long. We took take profit ones, raised our stop loss, came back down, hit our stop loss. So, in the end of the day, we took out around a $500 trade and on the funded. So that was another successful trade. So stoked about that. Let me run through it with you, explain what happened, what I did, how I traded, and let me know if you took the same trade or what you would have done differently. So let's get into it. As always, we marked out our previous day lows. We marked out our session lows, our session highs, and our draws on liquidity, both on ES, on the S&P 500 and on NASDAQ. We waited for the session to open. We kept on our 5-minute time frame. Both the indexes dropped down off market open. So on ES, it went into this 5-minute gap. On NQ, we took out 5-minute lows, and then we started trending up. We broke structure through an inverse fair value gap to the upside on the 5-minute, and on ES, we broke structure also by breaking that in 5-minute gap as well. We then just started continuing higher. I was on the 1-minute just keeping an eye because I was ready to take a trade off this because it was quite bullish. And what I basically wanted is when we pushed up above this 5-minute gap here, I wanted it to confirm and continue on the 1-minute on both pairs. So we waited, we pushed up here. On NQ, we were still hesitating a little bit. We finally pushed up here. So then the last thing I wanted was a equilibrium on the 1-minute before I took longs on NQ to target all these 3 points of liquidity, which was back to all-time highs. We were getting a perfect retracement here, as you can see, into equilibrium. All I wanted was this candle to break above the previous high, and then I was going to take longs. Anyone that traded today would know that there was a major breaking news announcement that came out. US and Iran agreed peace, and on peace terms, it was just awaiting Donald Trump's approval. Because of that, right at that time, you can see that these massive candles up that basically took out all points of liquidity, all major draws on liquidity. So that was quite devastating just before we were going to enter into a trade. But at the same time, we trade off our plan. So there was no reason to enter the trade before this anyway. So, in most cases, once a huge position like that happens, there's not much to trade afterwards. So a lot of the times, as you can see, it is kind of consolidating for a while afterwards. A lot of people do call it a day, but I just wanted to keep looking, seeing what price was giving us to see if there was another entry. I wanted a big retracement or a very confident retracement before entering another trade. So I'll explain what I did. So I then just waited after this happened because we took out all draws on liquidity into all-time highs on ES, but on NASDAQ we actually didn't reach that last draw on liquidity, the all-time high, which was actually, this up here, this line up here. So I wanted to still see if we could target that. So what I did is I went back to the 5-minute. I went back to the 5-minute and I wanted to see a 5-minute retracement, which we got here. We went back into the 5-minute and I wanted to see 5-minute break structure back up. So we didn't quite go back up. We started moving back down again for that. So I wanted it to break above this high before I entered a trade. We did here. Once we did, I went back into a 1-minute and I wanted a 1-minute confirmation. So this is where we broke structure back up. We came back in, we moved up here. We came into this gap here. That's what I had marked out. Then we didn't break structure up here, so we came back down. We then broke structure here. I entered the trade off this. We had a quick move down, back up, back down, and then we started to push forward towards the liquidity that I had. This line here, this is what I had as my take profit one. This was 5 minute, a draw on the 5 minute liquidity. Sorry, I moved that, so that was there, and that's where I took my take profit one. So that's where I took my take profit one. I believe I had 8 contracts on this, so I took 4. I did de-risk a little bit, so I took 4 at this point, let it ride, and then I ended up taking took my profits, and then I raised my stop loss under this gap here. So I'll draw that out under this 1 minute gap, because I believed if we broke under this, we were going to start reversing. We didn't end up. It ended up just wicking, taking out my stop loss that I raised, and then continuing higher, which was a shame. But nonetheless, I still took profit on the day, and it was a solid trade. If I play this out, you can see that we never actually took out the all-time highs. So we went into the next day, next session. So it was a decent trade in my mind, in my opinion. That's what I traded off. I'm now on this new account that we've started, this Road to Profitability. I've had 3 trades, 3 successful trades. We're up 1,588 on the week. This hasn't updated the 3rd trade yet, but yeah. So obviously we need to make 53,000. So we're about halfway there, 3 trading days into this account. So hopefully we can continue the streak and get another positive trade tonight. Like always, give me a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you would have done different, if you would have traded the same, and if you have taken this yourself, or if this is something that you wouldn't have taken. Let me know if you got affected by the news, if you were already in a trade, if you got stopped out, or if it helped you hit profits right away. Let me know all about it, and I will catch you in the next one.